Where do you shop?
Trader Joe's, always in Trader Joe's. Not to say that that's the best place, because there are some things that I disagree with, but I think it's a place where we kind of meet in the middle, where people that are used to going to the regular supermarket can find a happy medium than going to something extreme.
Are they
like
still around? Like
Wild
these
Oats?
in Boston, Erewhon, started by Paul Hawken.
Wild Oats?
Wild Oats, something like Wild
Bread and
Oats.
Circus up in Massachusetts.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How about that store, Whole Foods Supermarkets?
Yeah.
They don't have one in Connecticut yet, do they?
I don't think so.
They have one in New York.
They may have one in Greenwich, but I do know that, you know, it's kind of, Trader Joe's is like a friendly, you know, the prices
Things are familiar.
low.
It's,
yeah.
You can,
Affordable.
They're affordable and they're reasonable, and that's where I send my patients.
So in the morning, you wake up in the morning, and what's your breakfast?
I'll have eggs, I'll have a piece of Ezekiel toast with some butter. I actually put on coconut oil on top of the butter, which is very off the wall compared to the typical American diet.
Coconut oil, what does that do?
Oil. Well, it helps the thyroid, it helps the body fight off yeast and bacteria in the system. It's a fat that we need, so I incorporate it in it for better, for skin, you know, for lubrication of skin and hair.
So I thought they had a lot of cholesterol in it, am I wrong? Coconut oil in particular.
No, it has saturated fat.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but the misunderstanding about fat is that all fats are bad. That's not true. It's how it's processed. It all comes down to what man has done to nature.
Well, some fats that help the cardiovascular system will help you not build up plaque.
Yeah, like the fish oils, the omega-3s.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you take that as a supplement, or?
Yes, I take what's called Line B6 from Standard Process, and Line B6 is flaxseed oil in a pill form, and I'll take that every day to keep, you know, to make sure that I get that nutrient in, because you can't find it in foods these days.
You're talking about, because I take flaxseed oil also.
Good.
You mentioned a particular company, Standard Products?
Standard Process.
I'm sorry, I'm going to miss this.
That's
They're going to hate me. You've been using them for a long time. Are they the only company that does what you like, or they're just the most available? Tell me about their products.
Wait, tell me, what do they do? What do they make?
Standard Process makes whole food supplements, and they are the grandfathers of all these supplements out there.
Oh, so the vitamins I take, they're made by Standard Process.
The ones that you take, yeah.
That you gave,
yes.
you prescribed to me, yes.
Yes. The company's been around since 1929. They've actually made the first multivitamin ever in the U.S. I'm not sure if it's in the world, but they made the first multivitamin. And they strictly use whole food supplements, and they've made a lot of, there are companies these days that are now understanding the power of whole food supplements versus synthetic, and they're jumping on the bandwagon, but unfortunately Standard Process is not selling their secrets. So there are copycats out there, but I go with the original.
I just can't get over the whole idea of the synthetic vitamins are everywhere.
Yes.
And you know, I was oblivious to the fact that there's a difference between synthetic and whole food.
So was I. In fact, I did not learn this in school, believe it or not.
Now, I hope that our viewers are going to tell their friends and so on and so on.
Yeah, yeah. It's very misleading. You know, you see the word natural, you go into a health food store, you think everything in there is natural and good for you. Absolutely false.
Yeah, what are like the pitfalls that people who are kind of ignorant but trying to do the right thing tend to get trapped in?
Well, they go to the health food store and they think everything in there is wonderful. And you know, the reason why I test my patients with the contact reflex analysis is because I know exactly what they need and why and how much. When you go into a health food store, you might have gone in there because you don't feel well, or your friend told you, hey, go pick up a supplement, or you saw an article, or you went online and you did your own research, but you're self-diagnosing.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you really need and how much of it you're taking, you know, you're getting the wrong, you're not going to get that one-on-one care that I can provide, or a nutritionist can provide.
One time in Florida, my mom and I went into this holistic pharmacy store, and both of us spent a couple $100 on all. Remember, I brought you a whole bunch of stuff,
Yes.
those things for your liver, all these vitamins, and you threw me all of them except for
maybe a
the
few.
cranberry supplement.
Yeah, yeah.
The one thing.
Yeah, because what the thing that we could have done is, if I was there, which is not going to happen, but if I was in Florida with you at the supermarket, I could have tested you to the supplements there, so you wouldn't
so you
have
could
wasted
actually
your
pick
money.
it up and do a little test.
A muscle test, yeah.
Oh, so people could do that.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So you don't go into a health food store by yourself. You go into a health food store with somebody who does
Or if you know,
kinesiology.
wait,
Right.
no, if you know the technique, you just pick up the vitamin and you do a little muscle
Or you
test.
don't have to eat it. You can just leave it in the container.
In the container, you hold it.
It should be in a glass container. Plastic is not always reliable.
Why is that?
Because of the energy that it gives off, the energy of, well, the glass is being translucent, you know, or transparent, the energy can pass
It doesn't
through.
conduct through the plastic?
Plastic is not always reliable.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, this is I just thought that at some point in one of your newsletters you should put the 10 commandments of healthy eating.
That's
10
cool.
Commandments?
Yeah, the things that people don't do
Yeah,
and that they can learn how to do.
yeah.
Like, for example, check your vitamins. Are they
Yeah.
synthetic? Are they organic?
Yeah.
Are you eating organic vegetables?
Yeah.
Maybe you know, and I guess the consumers reports I mentioned talked about which of the products in our stores carry the most herbicides and pesticides in them. Grapes, I think we all know grapes are kind of bad that way.
Right.
Oh,
But
really?
strawberries are on the top 10
Yep.
bad list for bringing bad stuff into your house, and some things are terrific.
Yeah.
So I mean, are there some things that people do, not in any individual, but like great masses of people do wrong?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by what
What are the
they-
pitfalls? Like, what do most people, what's the mistakes
Let's say that
they
I've
make?
made the first step toward a healthy lifestyle. I've identified the fact that I smoke, or identified
Yeah.
the fact that I drink too much coffee, and I want to
Right.
get on the right side of the nutrition scale.
Right.
But I don't have a nutritionist such as yourself helping out. What kinds of mistakes am I going to make?
For instance, you mentioned the coffee. What a lot of people do is that they switch to decaf. Unfortunately, though, decaffeinated coffee has a chemical residue in it that is cancer causing.
Oh, great.
From the
Cancer-prone, yeah.
decaffeinating process?
The process, yeah. So what you need to do when you make that choice, if you make that choice, is to look for it's called Swiss water press.
It's
Is
a
the
way
type
to
of
take
process
the caffeine out.
without the chemical residue.
Right.
So that's one example.
What's the difference between drinking regular coffee and drinking espresso? Do you know?
Well, I would actually say that espresso is healthier, but at the same time, they're both detrimental as far as stressing out your adrenal glands and causing your system to secrete a lot of adrenaline, which causes adrenal fatigue, which leaves you susceptible to infections and hormonal imbalances. So
kinda like-
on the cuff, I'd say it's not a health food.
Just don't, yeah, it's not a health food.
How about one of my
Why-
favorites, dark
why-
chocolate?
Why is chocolate? Oh my God, we're thinking like the same thing.
Right,
Why is
right.
chocolate good for you?
Chocolate has a lot of bioflavonoids in it, just like red grapes or red wine, that are good. But you have to get a good quality dark chocolate.
It's got to be
you
like,
can't get
70% chocolate,
Can't be
not a
milk
lot of
chocolate,
sugar,
gotta
not
be.
milk chocolate.
milk chocolate doesn't cut it. It really should be organic as well. So yeah, you don't want to get some junky like Easter chocolate candy. That doesn't count. You got to go to a health food store and get the real stuff.
And one of the things that surprised me, I learned on this program, was that a lot of vegetarians
Yeah.
eat a lot of soy products, and I guess that's not good if you're, especially if, well, you mentioned that both for females and males at different times for different reasons.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. Why is soy not so hot?
Well, soy has gotten this wonderful reputation because of the Asian culture has done so successful with it as far as their health. They don't have menopausal symptoms the way Americans do, and the list goes on. So as Americans, we've adopted this tofu or soy products into our culture, thinking this is going to be the cure-all.
Soy milk.
Yeah, and the problem is that as Americans, we think more is better. So not only do we have, what the Asian population has is a little bit of tofu, okay, in their diet, but we adopt this and we have soy milk, soy cheese, soy in our bread, soy chips. We blew it, essentially. Again, we've taken something natural and we've processed it so much. Man has processed it so much that it has harmful effect on the body. Soy has a lot of copper, the mineral copper, which offsets zinc. Now, zinc is is very important for your immune system, and your body needs a certain ratio of zinc to copper. I think it's 9:1. So if you eat a lot of soy, you are depressing your immune system, which can lead to cancer, of course, and other diseases. But you also carry on the problem of phytoestrogens that you're taking in.
That's
which,
the thing that's especially tough
That's
for
that
women.
for men.
Yes,
Wait,
men
both
and women.
men.
Tell us about
Yeah.
it, because the word estrogen, now everybody's heard that. That's the birth control pill thing?
No, that's estrogen is one of the female hormones.
Well, estrogen is what makes us different from you and I.
Okay.
Your dominant hormone is testosterone. But when you mess around with too much soy, for a man, you're going to increase your estrogen levels,
Which you don't want at all.
which you don't want.
Mimic a woman in some sense.
Yeah, you may
If you
develop.
start wearing a dress, we're going to have to
My
worry.
voice gets really high and I start mincing around. I got some problems.
Cut out some soy, will you?
which it would take a long time for that to manifest. The first thing you'd probably see is a weakened immune system, but down the line it can be detrimental. I've seen it firsthand with vegetarian patients who depend on soy for their protein, and they have had unfortunate problems developing as far as the years of puberty. They're not developing as well as they should
The children shouldn't have soy milk.
because
or-
they have just too much estrogen in their bodies.